Hey everybody, and welcome back to ThreadX3 Productions. I am Nick, founder of ThreadX3 Productions, and we're bringing you another. It's free, so why the hell not? So It's Free, so why the hell not is where we kind of look at the free games that we got for our PlayStation Plus, and we try to decide if they're worth it or not. So let's go over the rankings. We've mixed them around a little bit just because we kind of think they work a little bit better. So we have Day One Purchase. This is a game that really deserves to have been bought on day one. Would have been great on sale is a little bit less, where it's like, well, I would have picked this game up on sale, but it's free. It's free, so why the hell not? It's kind of the middle of the road, so it's like, you might as well try it out. You might like it, you might not like it. Thank God this is free is pretty obvious. It's like, thank God this is free. I can't believe anybody who would pay money on this. And don't waste the download. This is obviously the worst rating, and it's like, don't even download this. Don't waste the space. Don't waste the time it takes to download it. Just don't waste it. So the two games we have this month are The Last of Us and MLB The Show. So first up for this month is The Last of Us. Two things. This is one of the best games of all time. And two, you officially have zero excuses to not play this game. Naughty Dog really outdid themselves on this entry. This is a gripping look at a post-apocalyptic world and the society that forms around it around 15 years after the apocalypse. This isn't a world in the middle of being, ravaged by some kind of outbreak, but instead, this is a world after that. Although you do get a little peek of how it started. And rather, this is a zombie apocalypse, which is like a full generation after it began. The story is masterfully told. The characters are beautifully realized, and the gameplay just fits. For instance, Naughty Dog also did the Uncharted games, but there's definitely a point where the story stops and then the gameplay begins. Now, yes, this does happen in The Last of Us. However, the way the game plays goes along with the feeling of desperation, what it takes to survive, and it never feels forced. Uncharted is just dumb popcorn fun. Nothing wrong with it, but it's just not that serious. Whereas everything in The Last of Us is there for a reason. It's funny how a game about fungus zombies is more realistic and grounded than a game that is basically just Indiana Jones but interactive. Each scene in The Last of Us leads perfectly into the next. Whereas Uncharted is great, don't get me wrong, but it's just the difference between a thought-provoking film and an MCU formulaic movie. We love MCU, but it's predictable. Speaking of fungus zombies, I love what they achieved with these infected. One, they gave it a real world counterpart. The fungus that takes over an ant and then the ant goes above their hive and then shoots the spores down. This has a real world counterpart, and it's like it made the evolutionary jump in this game. It feels so much more real and grounded when it's something that could actually happen. And then two, it made just another zombie game stick out amongst the sea of repetitiveness. These monsters felt fresh and new rather than just reskins of Left 4 Dead zombies, which is what a lot of zombie games do nowadays. Very seldom does this game feel like a game. The best part about this is that it feels like an experience, not a game. Now, admittedly, boosting up Ellie for the 20th time or having her get on some boards because she doesn't know how to swim does feel a bit gamey, but then on that 21st time when you're supposed to boost up Ellie, and I won't ruin it. However, like I said before, it just fits the story. She doesn't know how to swim, so you have to take care of her. What could have been just a 15-hour escort mission changes because of the story it weaves and the characters it creates. Ellie is a person I want to protect, so anytime she would do something reckless, no matter how many times I've played the game, it still makes me cringe. Speaking of how many times I've played the game, usually I play a game one time and then move on, and it's pretty much dead to me. I'll talk about how awesome of a game it is and how much I enjoyed it, but I just never go and revisit it. And that's just how I am. I just move on. But this is a game that I thoroughly enjoyed playing through multiple times. Honestly, every year and a half, I get this urge to just pop it back in, trek through it, and have the time of my life. I can honestly say that very few other games have grasped me so hard that I could bring myself to do this. Most games, if I play through it once, I know where everything is and all the wonder is gone. But this game has its claws so deep in me, no matter what I remember, no matter how many parts I remember every detail about, I still feel myself reacting to everything as if it was my first time. The Last of Us is a shining example of what games can be, blending storytelling and gameplay that feed each other, and something that will stick with you for a long time. I cannot personally wait for part 2, and it is 1000% worth a day one purchase, and has Nick's seal of approval.